Hello and welcome to our weekly update of the 3 worm bins that we have our European night crawlers in. So we'll start with the kitchen scrap bin first and see what is going on in here and how well the worms processed the food we gave them last week. The moisture is good. That's a lot of bedding that these guys have to process. But I think that with these guys, the more bedding, the better. And this is where we put the berries. And no berries. But these guys are definitely looking livelier. Yeah, they finished the food. And they're all congregated right here, which is good. Okay, so they did great with that food. So we'll give them some more today. I have their preferred fruit. Because I don't have so many worms in here, I'm gonna try and see how they do with just little incremental increases. Don't want to sour the bin. That should be plenty for them. And we'll add just a bit of eggshell. Perfect. Cover it up. I've also been covering this up with this newspaper, and it also tells me if the bin is not drying out, because if this paper is wet, normally the bin is nice and moist, and when the paper gets dried out, it tells me that I might need to add a little bit of moisture to the bin. So now the worm chow. Okay, so this is looking moist as well. And here the worms look like they are more spread out in the bedding, but they are looking good. Can't complain. Nice and juicy. I do tend to add just a little bit more water to this particular bin because there is no fruit or vegetable matter going in here. Therefore, the only moisture really is from the one that I add in the form of water. For right now, at least, until we get a buildup of castings. So, oh, where's my, oh my goodness, the water. The water, okay. Just a little bit. Normally I have a cover on this, but oh well. Okay, now they get their food, which is the worm chow. And I will give you the recipe for it if I see that it's working. Makes no sense to give it if it's not. But it's usually things you have around the house, like flour and oats and some sugar, coffee ground, eggshells, that type of goodies. Okay, so we're done here. And now the leaves. Oops. Same thing, the paper is nice and moist, so that tells me that the bedding is in good condition. But here I also tend to kind of come and check the moisture of the bin, since no food matter is going in here. But the guys are looking good. Yeah. They're moving throughout. And of course, leaves are a good food source for them. They do like leaves. This is where we put the leaves, and they're happily munching on them. So yeah, the bins look good. The worms look good. It's really too soon to tell how well this is working, but hopefully in the coming weeks, I'll be able to really gauge the differences. So we're giving them some more leaves that I've been soaking in water in my garage. I'm sure they have mold covering them. It's not fresh leaves. You can also add dry leaves, but then you have to make sure that you add a lot of water to make sure that the bin doesn't get dried out. And that's it. So all the bins are doing great so far. And I mean, it could be as simple as just making sure that they have plenty of fresh bedding. It could be as simple as that. We'll see. But that's our update, and we'll see you next week.